Yep. It's time for Paint and Slay, even though it's
Are we ever ready? Hi, Kitty.
Kid you not, I hit the switch over the scenes and she jumped into my lap. It's like she know. Hey.
Oh, of course. They're probably confused because we're 2 hours earlier.
This one? No, she's just like, you are talking to the screen. This means I get all the attention now, right? But anyways, hi everyone and welcome. It's Friday. I know it's a little bit early and Bellsman is already giving away subs. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
That's a good way to start off our 100th episode of Paint and Slay.
Cheers.
Yes, and speaking of giving away things, just keep in mind today we're going to have a couple of giveaways happening for you as celebration for our 100 episodes of Paint and Slay. So we have two prizes. We have the Jabberwock unpainted miniature from D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. That's going to go to one lucky winner. And we also have the Hellwasp paint kit, which will go to a different winner. So there's going to be 2 times where we're going to run giveaways. Make sure you're paying attention to the chat for all the details. Mars, our fantastic moderator, is going to be helping us out with that one. But don't forget, for those of you who are familiar with watching Idle Champions streams and doing our giveaways, this is open to US and Canada only. Quebec excluded. Quebec.
Sorry, Quebec.
Just no. Sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not us, it's you. Sad to say. I wish we could.
It's not you, it's not us, it's the government.
It's the government.
The government trying to do a good thing in a bad way.
Yeah, it's like overhelping. So anyways, we will have those giveaways going for you. Keep your ears open. Lauren and I will be like, hey, guess what we're doing? And then you can do some fun stuff in the chat. And they're going to run for about 10 minutes each. And also make sure you're checking your whispers so that you get the information on how to claim your miniatures or your mini paint kit, which will be a fun thing to do. So that all said and done in terms of the giveaways, Lauren, what else do we have going on today?
Lots. Okay, so
it?
Wednesday was we had a new couple of adventures drop for Fortune's Wheel. So when the event ended, we then had some more adventures for you to play around with. And then this weekend is the Wise Friends weekend, which I love this chest, the owl. Part of me is just like, why isn't Alindra there? Because owl. But you know what? There's so many wise champions in Idle Champions, so there were too many to choose from. So if you just got done with the event and now you've unlocked all these juicy characters and champions and want to do all kinds of fun stuff with them and are like, but wait a second. Look, now there are more champions who can help you out on any of your excursions this weekend. Also, if you are signed up for our newsletter, you will be getting a newsletter sometime between now and the next couple of hours, which will include this free gold wise chest.
Actually, not right now because we're 2 hours earlier. So in a couple hours.
You know what? You know what? I'm still correct between now and a couple of hours from now.
There you go.
Wow, I already think it's noon. I'm so on top of things. Anyway, sometime today you will receive an email that is the once a week newsletter that we send out. For those of you who haven't signed up for a newsletter, go ahead and sign up. Not only when you first sign up will we send you a confirmation email that includes a code for Hitch, one of our champions, but then every week, just once a week, we will send you a Friday newsletter that includes free stuff. So definitely sign on up. And was there anything?
Well,
there will be things at the end of the show.
Exactly. Stick around for the end is the best way to describe it. Thank you for all the happy 100th wishes. It's good to see those coming through. Pardon me, I just tell the cat in all black, and that was a bad idea. So anyways, that all being said and done, today what we're going to do is we're going to pick back up, where'd I put it? We're going to pick back up with the Warlock Tiefling Mini that we started getting prepped in a black base color. Because essentially we're going to take the, it's called the slap chop approach. It's not the shadow layers that I normally do. It's actually a simplified approach. So we're going to do a mid-tone gray and then go in with white, which kind of, it still gives you that effect But I like it for doing minis like this because there are so many details in this miniature. I find that starting with that approach really helps pop out the details. So when you go back into paint, it'll help it out for your approach for what you want to paint, what you're going to attack, etc., etc., etc. So yes, and I'm noticing the chat is mentioning, hey, if you didn't see it yet, Jenny D, the lovely Jenny D, who we've been working with, she's got a pretty cool advertisement for Idle Champions in her latest video. So if you go to Jenny D's YouTube page after the stream, of course, select the one that's talking about relationships in about 7-minute mark. You'll see her talking about Karlach and Idle Champions, and there's a really cool code, which has just been shared in the chat. But still, please go check out the video anyways, because it's a fantastic video. Really great DM and player tips. Cannot recommend it highly enough. But definitely go check that one out, please. And thank you, and you won't regret it. So anyways, we're going to pick back up with this one. And what we want to do is take black, like we used last week, and we're going to mix in some dead white to use an in-between gray color.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make life easy. And I know we're like, oh, go watch the video later, but here we go. I'm just going to put the link for the video in there because if you're like me, and I know I am, sometimes when people are like, oh, go watch this video, I'll go and I'll start like the first 2 seconds of the video and then close it. And that way, when I go back to YouTube later to go watch some fun internet videos, it's like, oh, I remember this is the most recent thing that I watched. So there we go. I just put that in chat for all of you. Because yeah, go on over and watch the video. It's an awesome video, and then tell Ginny we said hi.
Yes, in fact, put it in the comments because that's gonna be good for Ginny's video. Pop it in the comments. Say hello from Paint and Slay.
Yep. Yeah, you know the cliche of the like and comment and subscribe.
It makes the difference.
It really does. It really does. And she's done. She did a fantastic little advertisement for us, which is real funny. You want to go watch it. Okay. Black and Banshee White.
When they sent the script over for me to approve, I literally got to the end and like guffawed. The truest definition of a guffaw. Yeah.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke. It's a really good joke. And it's timely. That's a little hint. It's a timely joke.
Yeah. And then it's also just the video itself is
is real good. Solid.
Oh yeah, and it's not that long of a video. No. It's like 8, 9, 10 minutes, something really like that. Something you can put on and like make lunch.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going for white mid-tone gray. And the reason why I'm not just jumping right to Stonewall Gray is because Stonewall Gray has like a warmer tone to it. And since we've used black, which is a neutral tone, I didn't want to put a warmer over the neutral. So by mixing in dead white, which is a solid white, we'll get this nice in-between gray tone that we want to start dry brushing onto this mini. All right, that's the plan for this one. In fact, if you want, because here I am talking about the 2 different color grays, let me put one next to the other so you see what I'm talking about.
That'd be great.
Reference. Yeah.
I think I need a little more black.
It's back in black. All right, so this is the gray I just mixed using black and dead white. This is Stonewall Gray itself, okay? You can see how this almost has like a beige tone to it because it's a warm gray. This is more of a neutral gray because I've used a neutral black and a neutral white. So it makes a difference, which is why you want to mix your gray for this and not just jump right to Stonewall Gray. What this does is it kind of will muddy what goes back in when you go to do your white overcoat approach. So you want to make sure you're keeping your tones in mind as you do this. That's not to say you can't do this slap chop method with different colors. Like I've done it with browns, I've done it with blues. It's just a matter of making sure you're keeping your cool tones, your neutrals, and your warms in mind when going about this. Okay, so basically dry brush everything.
Excellent.
Dry brush. What it does, it starts to pop out details.
I'm going to start with the hair because the hair, real cool.
It is. It's got that nice sweep to it. This is one of those minis that has a really dynamic sculpt to it, which I like.
and we were talking about this last week, but it feels nice and also a little weird to go back to a I'm gonna say a small mini, but small in comparison to the ones that we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing. Not really not a small mini.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to get back and then but to still have just as much detail as some of the other ones that we were doing, the flail snail and all of that.
Right.
This is just as full of joyful detail.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, it'll be fun to do a humanoid esque mini after monsters the past
Yeah.
few rounds.
Yeah. Well, and last week we had to be sneaky and not really talk about what we
Yes.
were doing with this tiefling mini, but
Yeah.
now that the tiefling Miria glitch skin is out,
Surprise. Yep.
then now we can just talk about it.
Exactly. But yeah, so hopefully y'all caught the lovely idle insights that Lauren did with Mark Hulmes yesterday. If not, that's another video I'm going to assign to you. Okay, your homework this weekend is to watch videos. Um, go
I will
back and
say
watch that one.
that video won't be up on our YouTube until Monday.
Okay, so catch it on
Um
Twitch, right?
so you can either catch it on Twitch or, put it on as your Monday watching,
There you
either
go.
way. But yeah, that one, because there was a video that went up yesterday that's all
Aha.
about Penelope. And hey, spoiler alert, there's a video going up today. So YouTube, if I put too many videos up on the
Oh,
same
it
day,
gets
goes no,
angy.
no, 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 no. No, don't do that. And then things go wonky.
Yeah, it likes to
So
get in the
Idle
way of that.
Insights has to wait until Monday.
That's fair. But yeah,
Yeah.
in a portion of the wonderful interview, Mark was explaining basically the design inspiration for the skin, which is right below my thumb. So this is Mark's whole brainchild, if you will. And getting to that particular look was Mark thinking, okay, we're doing tiefling, what class, what could be cool, and sort of gravitating towards monk. Now, I know we're painting a tiefling warlock, but here's why.
But
Here's why we're going for this warlock mini as opposed to a monk mini, because if you look, the lines of the armor and the clothing is pretty darn close to the look that the glitch tiefling has. So that's why I decided to opt into this miniature as opposed to grabbing a tiefling monk miniature.
yeah,
Just
sometimes
to,
that's good to remember that
yeah,
you don't necessarily have to go find
exactly.
what is listed as the exact mini to
Yeah.
find the mini that's right for what you're trying to paint. Uh,
Yeah. Hmm.
Newbold 76 has a fun question.
Yes.
They want to know, is that peanut butter holding the mini in the holder?
Oh, no, no, no. I've never looked at it that way, but because this has taken on so many paint pigments, it's definitely changed. See, it's normally a bright, bright orange. This is just an orange version of like poster tack.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what that is. It's
But
not. It's
definitely
not peanut butter. I don't recommend
it
peanut
definitely
butter.
kind of looks like peanut butter. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
do. It do.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend the peanut butter approach.
No. No, that's sticky.
It'll be sticky.
Also,
It'll be oily. Your paints won't stick.
oh, although now I will be having peanut butter for lunch.
Ooh, there you go.
Peanut butter and apples. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
That's
Refreshing.
that's become my recent. I
Go
mean,
to.
peanut butter is always a thing that I enjoy, but moving to apples and peanut butter instead of like a peanut butter sandwich has been real
Mm.
nice.
Oh, cool. Do do do. Hey, there is nothing wrong with ants on a log. Just saying.
Yo. Oh yeah.
All right. So this is about what you want this to look like at this point.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, if you ever need to do something like a shadow mini, this is a great way to make a mini look like a shadow.
Was it Trevor that we did the this kind of thing and they stopped at the shadow
He's
layer?
no, well, he stopped at the shadow layer look, which makes it look more like a sketchbook
Yeah.
image. But yeah, but if you want to do something that's like if it's supposed to like represent a shadow of some sort, when you leave it like just at this phase, it's really effective.
And that is I mean the shadow monk that
Mm-hmm.
works real well, especially when they're hiding.
Yeah, exactly. So you can buy the same mini and paint one version like fully colorized, and then the other one like it is, and then you get your shadow. All
There you
right, so now
go.
we're gonna switch over to just pure dead white, which is
All
if you're
right.
playing the home game. No, that's Banshee white. Hold on, we're close. Here
Bone
we go.
white.
Dead white.
Dead white.
Dead white is basically a classic white. It's just called dead white. Banshee white actually has a little bit of a blue to it, which is why I'm not using it, because then it's going to be too cool.
No. We're using you later.
Exactly. You have a role, just not right now. All right, so we're going to go in, and you can approach this from a couple different ways. If you want to have fun, you can pull the white across the mini from a certain direction, so it looks like you're doing some zenithal approach. That means like there's a light source coming from a certain direction. You pull all the white from that, and then it'll fade out, so it is darker on the other side. If you want to do that, cool. I'm just going to go through and do the entire mini with this method to highlight the whole thing, and just so I can see all the details. So we go back into paint, we'll be in good shape here.
Yeah, I
Okay?
think I'm going to do the same.
Yeah. But I figured I'd throw that option out if anyone wants to pick up on it.
Yeah, we have done that before, and that's super
Yeah,
cool. But
it
I
is. It's fun.
think in this case, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to highlight all the things.
Yeah. So as you can see on the base alone, the difference this makes, you have all this detail now popping out in comparison to the other side. Ba-dum, ba-dum,
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I didn't just age myself at all.
Yeah.
Girly, no. Uh-oh. Kitty on a keyboard. Ah. Girly.
T5 Cats, if you sent in a support ticket and you haven't heard back, um, feel free to send in another, but be aware that this is a holiday weekend. And specifically in Canada, they have today off.
Mm-hmm.
It is a actual us Americans are here, but the Canadians get today off. So it may take a little bit longer for someone to get back to you.
Oh, they're saying it was for
Oh,
Twitch,
for
though.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Well,
Honestly, though, same thing. You never know.
yeah. Although Twitch is a large enough company that I would hope that
You
they
would
would have
hope,
some
yeah.
Americans, but um yeah, that I can't help you with. I will say because whispers are going to be important for when we do the giveaways. If you do win the giveaway, message the C&E account, even if you can't whisper directly, and we'll see what we can do to get around that issue. Because if you do win, then you should have an opportunity to
Yeah.
get some stuff. And yes, this is actually a good time since we're about, let's say, 10-ish minutes away from our first giveaway.
Hmm.
Hint, hint. For those of you who haven't participated in a giveaway in a while or in one of our giveaways, make sure your whispers are on, available.
Open?
Because, yeah, open. Because listen, I totally get people who don't want to have just anybody being able to send them a whisper because,
Yeah.
not all the whispers that come through are good, but you're going to want your whispers on in order to get the confirmation message from Moobot when you enter. And then if you win the giveaway, most of the time what we do is we ask you to whisper us basically so that we can coordinate getting the stuff to you in as safe a way as possible. We're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be asking you to put your address or anything into the whispers. We have a different way of doing it.
Yes.
So yeah, listen in as we continue to paint and maybe double check your settings to make sure that your whispers are on.
Ta-da! All right.
Base.
As you can see how this is just making all those lovely details pop right out. So it's easy to see where and what you want to paint.
Oh, that's not showing up too badly on this camera. I think it's because of the high
Yeah,
contrast. It's showing
exactly.
up
Yeah.
a little bit better.
Well, there you go.
Okay. I
Well,
love how
yeah.
everyone in chat is not like now helping each other with
Right,
whispers.
yeah.
Yeah, whispers, private messages. If you don't know what whisper means, that is Twitch's term for private message,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of those in where it's intuitive once you know what to do, if that
Right.
makes sense. Like it's not intuitive until you've been told where to go and what to do, and then it's like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ink, ink it got everywhere.
Yeah.
Trying to get at the chest with her arms being very
A little
much like,
crossed over, yeah.
yeah,
It's definitely trickier.
yeah, because that armor has a lot of detail, so I want to get at that,
It
but
really does.
she's in such a dynamic pose. How dare?
How dare
How, how dare you be dynamic?
how dare you pose in an interesting fashion? Ooh. It is a tight fit though, that is for sure. Absolutely.
All right, I think I got it all. I have also continued. I know the last time we did this, you're like, don't do too much on that spell effect.
Yeah.
And I think I've just continued to paint on the spell effect, but we'll make it work.
I mean, we can always just go back and strip the paint off the spell effect with some rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
If it really got covered up. In fact, I can see there's some black spots on mine, so I'm probably going to do that. The spell effect will do towards the very end, to be honest, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, it's once again right there in that spot in where
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to whoopsie.
Oh, very much so.
Okay. My smaller uh dry brush, I think we've hit the end of its life cycle.
Oh, bum, bum, bum.
That's okay.
Did you hear that? Okay, I'll check on it after the stream.
Okay.
There was this very loud cacophonous.
Oh, okay. Cat's having fun, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was funny because when you said, "Can you hear that?" My lovely partner had just closed the door somewhere over there. Not
Ah.
loud, but I could hear it. And so for a moment, I'm just like, "Are you talking about Luke closing a door?" Oh no.
Nope, it was more the terror that lives in my house named Rory. Did you hear her?
The joyful playing of cats. Let's go with the idea that they're playing
Uh huh.
and just go from there.
There we go. All right, so here we go. So this is basically what the mini ends up looking like. You know, that stark contrast between the black to the white layer on top. And now you can see all those fantastic details
Yeah.
that go into this mini. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a hot second. While we let that dry, because we don't want to start painting quite yet, because if we do with the white still being yet wet, it's going to muddy things up. So remember, we have these giveaways going on for the 100th episode. So the first one we're going to raffle off is the Jabberwock, correct? That's how I have this set up?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Jabberwock
so,
should be first.
Jabberwock's going to be the first one up in a few minutes. So remember, that's a mini we painted. I took pictures of the mini that we painted on Paint and Slay. So you can win this mini and then go over to See Games on YouTube and go to the Paint and Slay playlist and find the ones for the Jabberwock. And you'll be able to paint along with us for the Jabberwock. And I believe that was a 4-episode series.
Think so.
Yeah, because that was a bigger one. So
Yeah.
make sure you have all those 4 like bookmarks saved, however it is you like to collect your tutorial videos, and you'll be able to paint along once this mini arrives at your door. Again, don't forget this is going to be for U.S. and Canada only, Quebec excluded. But I want to make sure to show those off before we get the giveaway started.
Yep, that'll be starting in just a few
Yeah,
moments.
yeah.
We'll definitely announce that for those of you who are lurking and working, which thank you, appreciate you. We'll give you the heads up, and the giveaway will run for about 5 minutes, so you'll have a
Yeah.
little bit of time to get on in there.
Yep. Okay, so this is going to seem like, wait, what doing? We're actually gonna go back to black. We're not
Back
back
in
in
black.
black. We're back to black. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that black and we're going to thin that out so it's a glaze. When I say glaze, this means it's a paint that is not going to be completely opaque. It's a little bit stronger than a wash. A wash is a hint of pigment. A glaze has more of a presence of the pigment, but it is still transparent. So we want to create this glaze, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll do the wrist swatch again. Not to be confused with the wrist watch.
Hmm.
2 different things. But basically, because as you can see, the skin obviously has some black details that we want to kind of bring back into a more notable black tone as opposed to this white gray tone.
More than a wash, less
More
than a
than
thinning.
wash. Okay. Oop. So here's what I mean with a glaze. Because when I spread that out,
Hmm.
you can still see some of my skin tone coming out. But not to the point like with a wash, which I'll do a wash next to that so you can see the difference. Because there is a difference. I just need 1 solitary drop. Thank you. Okay, so that's the glaze. This is the wash. Okay? Ta-da.
All right.
Alrighty. So once you get this mixed up, this is going to go on to the upper pauldrons on the shoulders, because you'll notice it's sort of like it's a 2 pauldron look, like there's a piece that's stacked upon another. So you want to focus the and you're probably gonna want to switch to a detail brush on this one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna paint those upper pauldrons, and then we're also gonna do the boots, as well as the upper sleeves, and the bodice, and the overskirt in black.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I just rattled off a lot.
No, I was following along, just making sure that I had a good idea about where all that was.
Yeah. So here, when I say the upper pauldrons, you can see how.
Oh, also, the giveaway has begun for the Jabberwock. Thank you, Mars, for running the giveaway.
Thank you.
Come into chat and come into the Twitch chat, and you can enter for a chance to win the Jabberwock. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. No.
You were at Pauldrons.
Yep. At these pauldrons, you can see there's like this double point thing happening.
Yeah.
So you're painting the first upper point area, not the whole thing.
And then when you say the sleeves, you also mean like the part before the
Sleeves are gonna
gauntlets?
yep, right here.
Ah.
See, this is why doing this method ahead of time helps, because it really pops out the different sections more. Even if I have to go back and re-highlight some areas, I'd rather that, because it's sort of like a it's not an insurance policy in this case. It's just a way to better demarcate where everything is.
For sure.
A little bit more consistency.
And now to get this other pauldron without getting too much of the hair.
Yeah, that's just it. I like how Moobot gives a count for how many people have, or how many entries there are.
It's not always correct. It tries. It really does try. I give it credit, but it is not always correct. Sometimes, especially in a chat like this where there's quite a few people who are
Mm,
entering for a chance to win,
mm-hmm.
it sometimes has a hard time of keeping up with that number. It
Right.
gets everybody on the back end,
Mm-hmm.
which I can say for sure because I've watched that. I've been the person
There you
watching
go.
on the back end, and I'm like, those numbers don't match up. But the one that Moobot is going to pull the winner from is higher than the other one, so
Makes
it's
sense.
probably okay.
There's also some straps that are happening on the back here, Lauren.
Okay.
See here and here. Because this is
Yes.
actually a bare back, and then there's a collar that we want to catch too.
Okay.
So it's got a little saucy open back going on here.
There are people who do armor reviews who are like, "Why would you not?" Because style, because D&D.
Yeah. Yep. Because fantasy.
Because
It's magic.
fantasy. This is definitely more armored than I've seen some characters be, so
Right?
get you.
Uh oh.
What?
Look, Ma, no hands.
Did it do the up onto the camera? Okay. It's been a while since that has happened.
Pardon me, it might get shaky for a moment.
There we go.
Oh, God. That was funny. Now, see, that's how you can tell when I'm not actually painting, when you see my hands doing something, but the painting's still going. Not that I've ever done
Y-
that before, but a clue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, so those upper pauldrons, the upper sleeves, and then the bodice itself.
All right. Get in between the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these angles are definitely a challenge.
It's a tricky.
Let's try this way.
This way and that way.
Okay. All right.
You good?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's your last chance to enter for the Jabberwock.
There you
You
go.
have not come by the Twitch chat. Now is your
Now
time.
is the time. Now is the time. Okay, so then if you look at the skirt, you see how it's sort of divided into two spots?
Yeah.
So it's not quite like what we have going on down here with Miria's. If anything, this will have like a little bit more red in the skirt area. So we want this upper portion to be painted black and
Okay.
leave this area open for red.
That makes sense. Oh yeah, if you've missed this first giveaway, I have
Mm-hmm.
good news. In a little while we will have a second giveaway. So
Yes.
stick around. There is more to come. I just lost where my underskirt and my overskirt is. Hold on. Okay. And you're doing the overskirt.
The overskirts in black, yeah.
Okay. I looked up for a second and I looked back down. I went, well,
Oh, my
that's
brain just went,
nope.
haha.
Nope.
Yeah.
Can't see it anymore. Give my brain a second.
Yeah, no, the next giveaway Max a Bird is going to be US and Canada only because these are physical items for shipping. When we do digital, we will open those up to international, but with customs, etc., we have to sort of limit the scope of where these get sent out.
Yeah. But thank you to WizKids for sending
Mm-hmm.
along these awesome minis for us to give away.
Yep.
Um, they have been very generous in for this basically this whole series.
Yeah.
So Vorin Vitris, the winner, how soon it'll go out is going to depend on a couple of things because it depends on where you are. Um, there is a there's a good chance it won't go out until next week because it's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but it shouldn't take too long once it goes out, and we'll be in contact with the winner to coordinate all of that. But yeah, probably relatively soon, but next week, not this week. I mean, there's not much left in this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sergeantman, where did V get the Idle Champions paint mat? The C&E made it's not a paint mat, it's a mouse
It's
pad.
a mouse pad that
Although
works beautifully for a paint mat.
I was about to say, in this context, it is a paint mat.
Yeah.
Those were just some fun things that they made,
Mm-hmm.
not to sell,
Yeah.
just for a couple people who work here at the office or work for
Okay.
C&E. Unfortunately, because we are a company that does digital things, the vast majority of the time we or all of the time we can't sell anything
Mm-hmm.
physically.
Yeah.
We can do some giveaways, like we're doing now, and we've done giveaways for shirts and mats and things before. But we cannot sell the physical items. We just do the digital. Also, physical is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Physical stuff is real hard.
Yeah, it gets tricky real fast. All right, so then I'm also doing the boots, but you'll notice the boots have something going on a little bit higher up on the calf.
Mm,
What I'm doing is it's going to be black from the mid calf and down, and then this area up here is going to be getting a red treatment.
okay. So stay below the knees with the boots.
Stay even below the knees. You want to start. There's this line that happens right here.
Yeah.
Stay below that.
Okay, cool. Oh, also, congrats to the winner who got announced in
Ooh,
chat and then now is gone from my screen because everybody's saying congrats, but that's
there we
okay
go.
because I'd rather have the chat being all nice and
Yeah.
celebratory. Um,
Yeah, guys, you aren't paying for shipping either. That's not what we said. We're not going to
yeah,
ask you to ship. No, no, no. No, this is at no cost to you. That's why, quite frankly.
that's why
So,
it's US and Canada
yeah,
only, or US and Canada, Quebec excluded.
excluded
But no,
exactly.
if you win, all we need from you is the place to send it. Will not be asking you for any money. You will not be asked to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Um, but that is the unfortunate reason why Quebec is excluded because Quebec has some laws that are there to protect people, but sometimes what that means is if you win a thing and we send you a thing for free, you still have to declare it and pay I believe you have to pay taxes on it, and oftentimes
You have to
for
record
something
it, and there's
small.
a whole bunch more that goes into it.
Yeah. And the TLDR is it is not uncommon if you win something on the small side, like a mini, that you could end up paying more in the fees to get the free thing than the it would cost you to just go buy the free thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Secret 30K says Quebec as B Dave says Quebec knows what they did.
Yeah. That's the running joke there. Okay, so they're the
Yeah.
boots. I'm also. You know what? I'm
Mm.
taking it back. Let's also do the extended portion of the skirt in black.
Okay.
I think it'll line up better with what the mini art is looking like. I don't want to overpower it with red too much.
Okay. Also, that I was hardcore looking at that and looking back at what you were doing because while it's I'm not gonna say it's pretty clear that's part of
Mm-hmm.
the underskirt. It looks like it's connected enough.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna
So
block, block it out with black. There, I'm trying to get that word out.
yeah.
Too similar. There we go. We're gonna get to
And
like
then
the
that
fussy
means
detail work later.
the right leg will get a nice shock of color and it'll be a nice
Hmm. No, it's
it'll
this
be
is also gonna get
nice.
extended out too, both sides.
It will be nice. That's I talk for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I'm also
Manic
doing
Clown
the other
says,
side.
just yesterday I ordered some Black 4.0 to paint minis
Ooh.
with. This should be fun. Black 4.0 is in like the
It
one of the versions
obliterates.
of the Vantas.
Yeah.
Oh. Mars immediately with the void minis. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Manic Clown, when you get something painted with that, definitely post it either in the Discord or tag us on socials and post it because I'm very curious. Even if you can't really get a good picture of it because Void Mini, I would love to see the Void, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You do.
Okay, and you said the right leg we're also extending down the leg?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna
Okay, cool.
extend that out.
Cool, 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 cool.
There is a because what changed my mind is there's this additional underskirt here,
Yeah.
so we'll paint that red instead. There we go.
I mean, we were joking a moment ago about the how people who do armor reviews seeing the back being open would be like, that's not safe. You shouldn't do that. But this is also someone who is wearing multiple layers,
Mm-hmm.
which
Padded.
is very appropriate.
Yeah. Plus, it's a monk. You'll
That's
be able to
true.
move around.
That is true. The fact that they're wearing any armor at all is a rarity and a fun one. Okay. Magic Reese says, I was painting some Warhammer 40K genie stealers this afternoon. Oh, very cool.
Hmm.
I didn't get a chance to really talk with Mark about it yesterday, but it was on my list of things to ask about because he had just posted on Twitter that he had finished an entire 40K army
Yeah.
and painting the whole army, and there's a whole series of pictures. So yeah, definitely check out their social media because it's an impressive
Oh,
amount
it
of
is.
minis because unlike D&D where you're like, I'm gonna paint a mini and here is a mini, and then in Warhammer when you're like, I'm gonna paint a mini, here is the army I must paint.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely go check out their army. I can't for the life of me remember which army
Don't remember.
they painted.
Don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Okay.
think
There
I'm
you go.
there.
Yeah. Okay. How are we doing with questions too from chat?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. I
Okay.
am holding down the fort while Mars is doing all the fun stuff on the back end. So
Awesome.
if you do have any questions, definitely stick them in chat with question in big capital letters. Because while V and I are keeping an eye out on chat, we're not necessarily always able to look because mini painting. Also,
Yes.
hi, Urban Bohemian. Welcome. I am
Hello.
excited for
Oh, we should talk
the
about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
should.
Um, I'm trying to remember what time it is tonight. 6 o'clock Pacific
It's
tonight? I'm gonna look that
what's
up.
the 18? What's 1800 Pacific time?
That's 6 o'clock.
Six. Yeah, so 1800
Six
to
o'clock Pacific.
yeah,
Yeah.
so 1800 to 20. So 6 to 8. This
Yeah.
is my brain's like, what are you doing?
You know what I'm gonna do?
I have
So
to play the time zone conversion all the time, but I never use military time, so I'm pretty just like,
nope, 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 nope. Let me pull up the specifics.
there we
So
go.
so what
There
B and
we
I are
go.
talking about is all this week there has been the Salal fundraiser going on, and we participated in a thing that's airing tonight, and
Right.
we will be participating in a thing that will be happening tomorrow. So tonight there is it's a D&D 101 panel with a whole bunch of awesome folks.
Yes.
And so that's at 6 o'clock. There will be an in-game alert for it, and that should be on the Salal Twitch channel. And what I really like about this, I think I'm not going to speak for V, but I'm pretty sure both of us have been a part of several, like, here is how you get into TTRPGs. Here is a beginner's guide to
Oh yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
What I really appreciated about this panel is there were basic questions that don't actually ever really get asked, that
Yeah.
it was kind of perfect, as soon as someone was just like, I think I was talking about a paladin, and someone was just like, so what does that
What's a
mean being a
paladin? Yeah.
paladin? And I'm like, this totally makes sense. Why
Yeah.
would anyone who's never played D&D know what a paladin is? So we really do start from the go of, what when people talk about their characters and they give these shorthand, oh, I'm a tiefling paladin of the with this subclass doing this and this. What does all that mean?
Yeah.
And why is that fun? And why is that help with actually getting into the game?
Yeah, it was
Um,
great. So it was the two of us, as well as Brian Gray, aka Urban Bohemian, sitting in the chat there. Hello! And the lovely Carolyn Page joined us as one of the panelists. And then Alicia from Salal was the moderator, basically prompting us with the questions and that type of thing.
yep.
Uh, Jesus. Herb was, is, will be. Tune in.
Yeah, so for I mean, the Idle Champions audience is very used to the idea of sometimes it's better to pre-record a thing to air at the time you want it to air at, because, we've got people from all over the world that we talk to. And so we pre-recorded that like a week or two ago, and it's airing
On the
tonight, which is
7th.
why
Yeah.
time zones and things. But
Why
that
is
all
that?
you need to know about is 6 p.m. Pacific tonight. If you're playing Idle Champions, you'll have a little clicky, little alert to click on. It'll be great. They will have an electric chess code.
Yep.
And then tomorrow, I believe it's the last thing of the
It
fundraiser.
is. Yeah, it's the wrap
Yeah,
up one shot.
we are playing a one-shot D&D game with Holly Conrad joining us as the DM, which is super exciting. And we had our session 0, and we're working on our characters earlier in the week, and I am very excited. I am just super excited to see what it's very obvious our characters are going to get along in a very fun way, and I'm excited.
Yes. Should we talk about our characters a little bit while we paint on some scarlet red onto the skirts and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead
Okay.
and give the scarlet red info, and then
We're
yeah.
gonna take scarlet red, which is this lovely red tone that is a little bit deeper, like a ruby red almost, ruby red, garnet red. We're gonna thin that out as well to be a glaze. So you're gonna want to add some water to this, and then we're going to apply it to this center point here. All right,
The
and we're
tabard kind of thing.
The tabard part of the skirt, and then we're going to be doing that little bit of skirt that's peeking in between, because it's in the front, and there's also a little bit under the tail in the back. And then I'll tell you the other points where we want to also paint this the same scarlet red.
Okay.
But we'll start with those points.
And you said glaze.
A glaze, yes. We don't want it full throttle. In fact, I'll do a side by side. Let me take a little bit for a full coverage. Sometimes I feel like I'm like giving instructions on makeup with the terms I'm using. Full coverage.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
I know, it's
isn't
what's funny.
isn't mini painting basically makeup for
For
a small
minis. Yeah,
figurine?
there you go. Exactly.
That's my deep thought for the
The more
day.
you know.
Also, Namanto obviously knows the things that Holly loves does include having fun
Mm-hmm.
in the birdcage. So
Yep.
yes.
Okay, so this is full coverage and this is thinned out to a glaze. As you can see, my skin's peeking through the glaze as opposed to the full coverage. The full coverage obliterates my skin tone. The glaze still lets it play out a little bit, but it's not showing through like a full wash would.
Yeah. I think I got it. I think I got it. For whatever reason, I was having a harder time getting the glaze, figuring out the glaze for the red than for the black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what was I going to say? My brain just like, bye. Oh,
Uh,
so my character, quite frankly,
yes.
my character is coming about because of this show. So remember how we were joking around a couple weeks ago? I'm like, you know what? I like the sound of a character named Plethora Dearth. Guess what? She exists now. So my character is going to be
Yes.
Plethora Dearth, and she is going to live up to her name of being just the absolute opposites and dichotomy that is her name. So
I
I'm
love
looking
it.
forward. Yeah, so she's a fairy. She's a witch from the World Beyond Numbers show, that witch class. I'm going to put that one to use.
Yeah.
And basically, she's like this tiny little cute as can be with a wicked streak type of thing, is what she's going to be. Wicked not as an evil, but just like, utter chaos. Basically, it's Rory.
Your cat in fairy
Maybe.
form.
That's what I'm thinking. I might pull from Rory inspiration. So that's
Mischievous, not
mischievous.
evil.
Yes, yes. Like compulsive and like if she's telling someone to be quiet, she's going to shout, be quiet, and not whisper it.
Yep,
Kind of living a life of opposites.
exactly.
Yeah.
And my character is in some ways the exact opposite, but are going to get along
Uh
really,
huh.
really well for the simple fact that my character is kind of a we'll just go along with friends unless it's an obvious, really, 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 really bad idea. But most of the time, they're just going to go along. Star Chaser 43 was asking specifically about the game. It's tomorrow
Tomorrow, yeah.
at noon Pacific
Mm-hmm.
on the Hero Forge channel, right?
Yes.
Yes. So on the Hero Forge Twitch channel, it will be another show that there will be in-game alerts for, because you will be able to get another Electrum chest, and hopefully you'll come on by. If you don't have any, if you can't donate to the cause, that is okay. Not everyone has the facility to, but if you can come on by and, cheer people on
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy the show and
Oh.
tell other people, oftentimes if you don't have the resources to donate, but
Mm-hmm.
you are the person who amplifies the information, you'll be able to get that information to someone who can.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad if you come by and you're like, I really don't have any money to donate. That is totally okay.
Yep.
Come on
Exactly.
by, support the show, support the people on the who are doing all the hard work, and that is much, much appreciated.
Yeah.
So yes, tomorrow noon on the Hero Forge Twitch
Twitch
channel.
channel. Yep. And
Um,
it's Holly Conrad as the DM, Lauren, myself, Brian Gray, and Carolyn Page as the players.
yep,
So
and
it
I
should
am
be a lot of
excited.
fun. Yeah, me too. Can we can we talk about the thing that we found out would also be a giveaway thing? Remember? For
That I
Salah?
don't know if we can.
Brian, do you remember?
I will say there will also be
There's something else
giveaways
really cool that they're going to be giving
at
away. Yeah.
at the D&D game
Yeah.
for that's the fundraiser for Sellout tomorrow at
Yeah.
noon on the Hero Forge channel. Um oh, bless you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
They're going to double check because we can't remember whether we're allowed to say anything or
Yeah.
not. Uh but I think it's totally fair that we can tell
Yeah.
people that yes, there will be
Oh, wow.
A very, very cool giveaway.
Like, really cool. Like
Yeah,
fun.
like when we found out, we were just like, really? That's super cool.
Uh-huh.
Also, before I go into my character again, I'm just double checking.
So
Okay, I
there's
got the
the,
tabard and the thing under the
yeah, there's the
tail.
underskirt behind the tail. And actually, paint. No! Hold
Ah!
on. I got stuck.
I
Um,
watched that happen in real time.
paint under the skirt itself with that
Okay.
stuff. I remember why I don't use this handle, but my hands are cramping and I need the handle.
Hmm.
So paint under the skirt itself, behind the tabard too, and
Okay.
then the front is that front portion and those little slots on the other side.
There's two triangles on either side of the thing. I was
Exactly.
double
Exactly.
checking.
Yeah. And the whole reason why I'm waiting on the whole flesh tone aspect of this is because of the fact we're dealing with such tiny little bits. It's harder to bring a light pale flesh back when you get a darker color over it.
Mm.
So,
We did have a couple of
okay.
awesome
So it
painting
has
questions
been
come on
officially
in.
added to their prize information document. So,
Excellent.
thank you.
Yes. B, go ahead and why don't you talk about that giveaway, and then I'll bring up the
Sure.
questions, and then I'll talk after the questions about my character. We'll do in
Okay.
that order.
Perfect. Okay. So the other thing, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm going off cuff. Brian, you are amazing. During our streaming for survivors one shot happening March 30th at 12 p.m. Pacific, Twitch Hero Forge, any donation over $100 will be entered to win one of 5 Xboxes.
Right?
So just saying, tune in. Because if
That's
you help,
super
if you
exciting.
donate $100 to help a good cause, you then get entered into this. You might be one of 5 winners type of thing. So yeah, come and hang out with us. You see,
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Dang, wow, what, wow.
Right?
So,
Yeah, and once again, thank you, Brian, for
Yes,
grabbing that
thank
information
you.
and putting it in our chat and doing work on a time and where you should just be enjoying the stream. We
Right.
really appreciate it. Uh,
Streamers unite.
yes, Syntopia, Brian just put it up there, but it is the Hero Forge Twitch channel.
Yep.
It's going to be posted on all of our socials, and once again, it's going to be an in-game alert. So if you're hanging out in Idle Champions, playing Idle Champions at noon Pacific, there should be a little alert you can check on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll get back to my character in a second,
Yes, but you
but
said
going
you
back
had
to some
questions,
cool
right?
questions. Manic Clown wants to know, when you're making a glaze, roughly what ratio of paint to water do you use?
That's tricky to answer because the paint's consistency is going to dictate it. So what you want to target for is a consistency blend of skim milk. All right. If it is something where it's acting like a beef broth, it's going to be a wash. Okay. So you want the suspension. Hi, baby girl. You want the suspension ratio of paint to water to remind you of skim milk, but obviously the color of the paint is really the best way to answer that question. If I try and give you an exact ratio because I am playing a game of not knowing the consistency of the paint you're trying to thin out, it won't work.
Yeah, unfortunately, paint is so variable with how thin they start off on.
Yeah.
It's easier to just play around with it.
Yeah. Like there are some paints I own where I may not even need to add water because they're thin on their own. Thank you for that, cloth. I've moved on to painting the upper portion of the boots, Lauren, just as an FYI for everyone.
Okay.
So anyways, carrying on. We're doing the
Yeah.
questions, right?
Next question. Sergeant Man wants to know, is there a particular mini you would recommend for a first-time mini painter?
I would recommend starting off with a monster size mini. So something that is, this is going to sound silly, a larger medium or a large mini. Because those are a lot easier to learn how to do the techniques and start off on. A lot of times people will grab a humanoid scale, like a medium scale humanoid, and try and start with that, and they end up getting frustrated because it's just not working how they wanted it to. So I've found that by starting off with something larger, it helps you learn those mini painting techniques so that you can then scale it down to the more medium-sized humanoids and know how the brush is going to respond to the texture of the mini and how to control the paint flow from the brush tip and everything like that. But yeah, Jabberwock, sure, you could start with a Jabberwock.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Actually,
go
a
find.
Hell Wasp may not be a bad idea either.
Oh, and the Hell Wasp was so much
The Hell
fun.
Wasp is super duper fun. All right, did I get
And that's also two good points. One
Mm-hmm.
being there are those paint kits out there. So if you have
Yes.
nothing, if you're starting from zero, um, if you go to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions, I'll drink in a second. The pinned post in the Paint and Slay channel includes our recommendations for if you're going to go buy, you know, a basic set of paints and a basic set of
Yep.
brushes. And, you know, here's some good stuff that's not going to break the budget. But one of the other things that you can do is go for one of those paint kits because everything is included that you need to paint that mini. And I can tell you from experience, there is plenty of paint in those paint kits, and where you're going to be able to paint many, many, many more minis. And those brushes, you take care of them, and they're good brushes that you can use, you can continue to use.
I mean, using one
And
of
then
my
find a monster you are excited about. It doesn't have to be a monster you're going to use in a D&D game.
No.
Just find yourself a monster that is super cool for whatever however you describe super cool, whether it's just one you've enjoyed fighting in the past, whether it's you're excited about the colors of that creature, whatever the reasoning is, and then go for one you're excited about.
Absolutely. Plus, when you're going for a mini that is engaging for you for other reasons besides just wanting to learn how to paint, you're more likely to stick with it because you're already invested in the concept of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the boots basically we kind of have like this. It covers the back portion of the calves and then tucks down under the knees. Look.
Yeah, I just had to move the tail out of the way to get get that spot. It's like, excuse me, pardon me. Sorry.
So I'm just gonna tuck in.
Here we go.
Just pardon me, I'm just gonna tuck in.
Okay. Oh, and then folks were asking about my character for tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
So my character, Mal, I'm not going to say their full name. You can find that out tomorrow as I need to practice saying it. And tomorrow, Mal is a Thri-kreen wizard. What's a Thri-kreen? It's big mantis person. It's big mantis. I like being big mantis person.
Fantastic.
They're a giant mantis person who are a Order of the Scribes wizard, which basically means they like to write down things and they're very good about books and things.
Yes.
And in contrast to V's character, Mal is, imagine Bob Ross, except even more chill.
Right.
Bob Ross, except a little slower and like twice as chill. And that's Mal. And Mal is very much a go along with their friends, having fun, happy-go-lucky in a way, mantis person.
Yep.
And I was just double checking. I did pick all of my spells. Because I was going back and forth with what spells to pick. Because you know when you're a wizard, I
love that.
I mean, thanks TTRP gifts. I appreciate it.
I'm having to fill up my character sheet by hand because obviously since
because the witch.
Because I'm using the witch class from World Beyond Numbers. I tried. I'm like, well, maybe I can scaffold. It was not working. It was just like, oh, this is more confusing trying to make it work than just going to pen and paper.
Because that's a full. That's a full class. It's not a subclass.
That's just it. It's a full switcheroo. But it's really like the concept is fun. Looking forward to trying it out. She's going to be a Coven of the Heart, which is just like, more social, gregarious, likes to help people out around her type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting her set up. And she's got a familiar. Oh, I have to name the familiar. Crap.
Well, there's still time.
There is still time. But yeah,
there is still plenty of time.
White weasel familiar. I decided on. I thought that'd be cute. Oh, hi, Jonko.
A couple of other questions came on in. Fool Oops wants to know, how do you rate synthetic brushes versus sable? Hmm.
Budget. That's how I rate it. Quite frankly, I've had synthetic brushes that have lasted me just as long as sable brushes, and I've had sable brushes last me just as shortly as cheaper synthetic brushes. Most of it comes down to um, the setup of how you care for your brushes and how you paint with your brushes. I am hard on my brushes. I just know that as a painter, I beat them up to no end. So I take precautions by using things like this brush cleaner because it's also conditioner. So the Master's Brush Cleaner and Preserver from B&J. So this is a handy tool to help extend the life of brushes. So really, it's if it's something you want to invest in, just make sure you buy the products to keep the brushes happy and healthy and conditioned and everything after you're done using them. If you don't have the budget for it, there's absolutely nothing wrong in getting synthetic brushes. Truly, there really isn't. You can take a beaten up old brush and still get similar results when you're an experienced painter than if you were to get a very expensive brush, and so on and so forth type of thing. So it's really what are your needs as a painter and your budgets. So hopefully that
And
helps.
honestly, I can say as someone who is still learning, as someone who's still learning all of the ways of the brush.
Mm,
Um I think most of mine have been synthetic, but I've
yeah.
definitely purchased
The was the red brush one?
the Red Grass Games.
Yeah, the red grass was that one. I think that one might be synthetic too.
That might be.
I'd
I
have to
used
look at
that
the
one so
packaging.
much that eventually it had
Yeah.
to be retired. Um I will say that I at my level of skill, what I have found more important than the the actual brush itself is the handle.
Mm,
Is the handle comfortable? Is the handle something that I enjoy holding? I found that that has helped a lot. And you don't have to pay tons of money to get um really nice like these that I got that have it's a little hard to tell. They have the
yeah.
thicker end,
The
which
ergo
makes it
grip.
a lot
Yeah.
more comfortable for me to grab and hold.
Yeah.
I got a whole package of them, a whole big tube of them in like all the different sizes, and it was not a lot of money. It was very, 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 very cheap. And so just that alone has helped a lot. And I can say those were no more expensive than any of the other beginner
Yeah.
brushes that we've put out there. Now, not everybody will find that comfortable. Um, the thing I really also liked about the Redgrass Games one, they were very kind and sent me a dry brush that I was using. And the reason I used that to the point in where I couldn't use it
Go
anymore
ahead.
is it had like this soft touch handle,
Yeah.
which same kind of thing. It just felt really good and easy to hold in my hands and was yeah, that's the
It has a flare in this general area, which makes it more comfortable to hold. Whereas other paint brushes tend to not have it flare out as much,
yeah.
like cheaper brushes, I should say.
And then it's the
Yeah.
soft touch is really the only way that I can describe it. Like velvety. It was very, very nice to hold. And that helps a lot for me
It
anyway.
does. It does.
Um, for you, it might be the actual feel of the whatever the bristles are made of.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something else, but I've found I haven't had to pay more in order to get the style brushes that I want.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at, are you doing the gauntlets in red?
Yep. Doing the
Okay.
gauntlets again because technically a monk, so we're not going to make this look super metallic. So I'm just going to paint that down red, and we'll add some nice little gold edging to make it look more fabric-like.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of kind of angling this around to paint that area red as well. And then I also got that lower portion of the pauldron done. I don't know if you caught that too, Lauren.
Yeah, that I
Okay.
did catch.
Okay.
I was just making sure.
Cool.
Oh, geez, gauntlet.
Yeah.
I don't know why I decided to start with the more difficult gauntlet, but here we go.
Well, it's funny. When I was looking at this, I'm like, oh, we might get this finished today. And then I forgot, no, this is a mini with so many angles. We're not getting this done today. What was I thinking?
Well, and on top of that, we've got more reason to stop and chat about it being our 100th
Exactly.
episode, and we've got the
Yeah.
giveaways. So yeah,
Which there'll be one happening in about 15 minutes.
yeah, happening soon.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like all of our other episodes, we are in no hurry to finish a mini. If anything, last week it was a good thing that we took our time
Mm-hmm.
and did not have to get too far into this mini because last week the Tiefling Miria skin had not been released yet.
Exactly. Yeah. And this would have
So
been.
it would have been hard to explain why we were
Right.
doing certain color schemes and everything, but now
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
It does, thankfully.
Okay. Yeah, a couple people were talking about alternative ways to do character sheets outside of D&D Beyond,
Oh,
especially for
yeah.
homebrew stuff like that. Um, it
Um, I did see the offer to convert it, but I can't distribute out the information that I have received.
Yeah, I kind of figured that
Yeah, I
was the
have to be
case.
careful. They were kind enough to share this with me when I explained what I wanted to do. What I don't want to do is plug in information that I believe you can get off of their Patreon or is going to be published type of situation. I don't want to share information out ahead of time and, ruin their sharing in good faith with me.
Yeah.
Let's
But
not
for
do that.
charity,
For charity, for charity, absolutely play the character out and people can have fun. Like, wait, what is this spell?
yeah.
Um, so that'll be fun. But
And
the
it's
details
it's
of it, I don't want to.
hard when it's a full class like that because
Yeah,
that is one of the things that is still not something you can do homebrew on D&D Beyond.
yeah. I'm
And
looking forward to if that becomes an option for sure.
I hope so too. I think, and now I used to
We're
work for D&D Beyond for a couple of years, but it's been a couple of years since I've worked for them. So at this moment, while I am speaking from a tiny bit of experience, I know nothing. This is not a hint at anything. This is not a
right.
spoiler of anything. I literally know nothing. My guess is because they've been coming out with the third party content like Humblewood,
Mm-hmm.
which has been awesome because
Oh
yay.
my god, yay.
Um, that might be something they're working on because there's a lot of third party content out
Yeah.
there that is for other classes.
Yeah.
And this I can say from my experience working there. The reason that yeah, Mick Tribble's like prepared to clip what is about to be said. Do not take, I know nothing. Um, Doing the homebrew classes are actually really, 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 really difficult.
Mm.
For a lot of reasons I know and a lot of reasons I don't really understand. But I can say if you think about it for a second, about all of the information that if you were to create your own homebrew class, all of the details that you would need to come up with. Now, all of that is very, very specific to that class. And D&D Beyond kind of there's no template for that. Let me put it that way. It's not like you're taking an existing class and just putting new things on there. It's all new. And so figuring out how to do homebrew for a class that is going to be not something that you can just templatize,
Mm-hmm.
real, real, real hard. Super, duper, duper hard.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll just sit down this evening and finish up the character sheet on a PDF I got started. Really, what I
Yeah.
need to do is sit down because with it being a live stream, I need to plug in for like the individual spells and stuff, like the attack rolls and the dice damage at each level, so that I'm not having to constantly flip back and forth between the PDF they sent me and my character sheet and taking up time because it's a live
Mm-hmm.
stream. So I have to do a little
Yeah.
bit of additional footwork on my character sheet that normally D&D Beyond takes care of, which I love. But I mean, it's just quick writing down. It's like, okay, now that it's a level 2, it's a 2d8 plus whatever, just
Yeah.
getting all that little footnotes in basically.
And honestly, even for me, which I am using stuff that is right out of D&D Beyond because it's all it's not homebrew. because once again, live stream, no one likes to sit there and watch math happen or like rereading over stuff. So just taking that moment, especially as a wizard, we're not super high level, but we're high enough to have options, making sure that I have a really good idea of what I can do when I can do it.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
hey, if we get into combat, what are some of my options? Just kind of having a cheat sheet for
Yep.
that kind of thing
Yep.
is real helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, reading through the PDF that Brennan and crew sent over, it's lovely. I'm excited. They have like a bunch of different coven options. So that was really cool. Like you could do one, you could do the other, and it flavors what type of a witch you get to be.
Nice.
So it's worth keeping your eyes open for more information about World Beyond Numbers because they really do
Yeah,
some cool things.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And as someone who has been doing live play podcasts for,
A
I think
while.
we're up to 8 years now, 8.5 years.
Dang.
We started right at the beginning of fifth edition, Distinguished Adventures. I podcast D&D
Hmm.
makes my heart happy, or
Yeah.
podcast TTRPG, I should say. Any
There you go.
any live play, it's all storytelling. Okay, what is next?
Okay, so now we're gonna go in and we're gonna start doing pale flesh. We're
Okay,
basically the fleshes. So
we're
the
actually
face,
using flesh on
we're actually
flesh.
using flesh on flesh. I know. It's
Ah,
like what has this come to? We are gonna
this
want
might
to
be the
glaze
first
that out
time.
too.
Okay.
So basically the tail, the face, the hands, the upper legs, um, the back, the front of the chest, all of that.
All right.
All right, so I'm looking at a question right now from the Lurking Writer. If a character has scars on their face or hands, for example, do you have any tips for how to accomplish this? I have a Warforged character. It looks like Kintsugi, Japanese. Yes. But I'm not sure how to best do it. What you want to do is actually paint that mini with the gold first so it gets into the recesses. And then the layer of color that you want on top, so the scar kind of peeks through, you will dry brush that color on top and make sure you're keeping that brush very surface over where you are painting. And what that'll do, kind of like dry brushing, but it's called overbrushing, and you'll just build up the color until you're happy with the upper layer, but you'll still have the gold peeking through. It's probably the easiest way to approach that.
Also, that way, that Japanese art with the
It's so
repairing
pretty.
pottery
Hold
with the
on.
gold, it's gorgeous.
I
And
haven't.
that's a really cool
So
idea
pretty.
for a Warforged. I like that.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
cool.
V has gone off.
I found
She's coming
an
back with something
example.
cool. She's coming back with something cool. Stay tuned.
If I can find it.
I'll start on the tail.
There you go. Where did it go? Hello.
I want to make a joke about how the cats might have knocked it off of something or taken it away, except the whole point of that kind of repair for pottery is that it's okay if it's been broken. It
Right?
turns it into an art form. And so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Ah ha ha! Found it. Okay. Don't tell. This isn't a WizKids mini, but still. So here.
Oh,
So
cool.
basically, I made this dragon look like it was made from lava and magma. So when I started painting this dragon, it was bright orange and yellow and red. And then I went over with the black and started smoking it out basically and charring it that way. So you can see in the recesses you have these vivid colors, all right? But the flesh looks like it's actually black on the surface. So that's a good way to kind of do the same thing with scars.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I forgot I had this one.
That's a chonker, too.
It's a big one. It is a big one. But for the sake of example, wanted to pull
Yeah,
it through.
absolutely.
Now the next question is what did I do with there it is. Like where did I put my paintbrush? Yeah, exactly, like a cooling lava flow. Yeah, no problem.
There we go.
All right. Oh, I have to thin out the flesh. Wait, the paint.
I
Sounds
knew
so
what you
wrong.
meant. I like that you were immediately like, wait,
Hold
hold
on.
on. Wait, not what I meant.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Yeah, I got it thin
Hi, Hambles.
enough for most of it, but now I'm at the part of the tail. The top of the tail to about halfway down has these really nice
Ridges.
almost spikes,
Yeah.
not really spikes. So I'm just kind of trying to make sure that those don't get the shadows still come through
Yeah.
over there
Yeah.
because that was real cool.
Oh, my cats are so confused today with this earlier time. They're thinking they're gonna be getting dinner in like a half hour. Sorry, baby, no.
No, 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 no. No, no dinner just yet. Lunch. There will be lunch.
Oh, that's the thing
For
I didn't do.
once, I'm gonna be able to have lunch at lunchtime. Hey.
No, Hemples. Stay there, babe. Sir. So much for that. Here comes Hemples.
Okay, that's the tail. Guess maybe the hands next.
I'm sorry, are
Yeah.
you a lumbar support pillow?
Yes. I
He's
am here
just
to support and be
tucked in behind my
supported.
back.
I don't know why I've always adopted this voice for your cats, but it
I don't
always
know.
feels
It
like
works.
that's what they are. Very, very, very much high and squeaky, but imperious. Just like, yes, you will pay attention to me.
There's actually some reels that are bopping around, like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where people are like doing the thoughts of what the cats would be, and Etsy's very high pitched voice. So you're not alone.
I am glad to know that I am hip with the times.
Exactly.
Look at me keeping up with what the
Heck, you
kids are
might
doing.
maybe even a trendsetter because you've been doing this for a while.
Well, let's not go overboard. I'm just happy that uh I'm not so behind that I'm able to keep up with things.
There you go.
Uh, I mean, my birthday's coming up, and I've always said that like I never want to be that person that uses my age as an excuse not to learn something new.
Right. Oh yeah.
That I can use my age as an excuse why it might take me longer to learn a thing
Mm-hmm.
because, as we get older, things just get harder. Hmm. But I never want to say, "Oh, I'm too old for this insert."
Right.
I want to at least keep trying.
Yeah. Exactly. You two fellow kids. Tetro.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I'm 46. I'm at that age. I'm at the get off my lawn. So I'm trying not to be get off my lawn.
Fair.
Also, I live in an apartment complex. I don't have a
You don't
lawn.
have a lawn. I don't have a lawn.
I have no lawn to get off of. I am having a real hard time finding where this hand is for the
In
spell
the spell,
effect.
it's gonna vary based on your
Oof.
mini. I can tell you this right now by the way these spell effects work,
Yeah.
because they kind of get fused together in a melting process. So it'll vary per mini.
I think I see some fingers, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go there. And this may just be the thing and where, all right, it's a big giant spell effect. You can't see a hand.
Right. And that's honestly, if that's what works for you, then do it.
Uh, Rex Verity says, I'm a bit older than you, Lauren, and I find it nearly impossible to, quote, stay hip. Here's the good thing. For those of us who were never hip to begin with, I don't have to worry about
There
staying
you
hip.
go,
I
right?
was never hip.
What is this hip?
I mean, I have hips and they're starting to hurt, but no, I'm not staying hip.
You mean like hip
Uh,
hop?
Actually, my hips are doing pretty good for that. My hips and my knees. It's other places, and we all
Mm-hmm.
have the places.
Yeah.
Seeker 30K wants to know now that we have 100 now that we're 100 episodes in, What's been your favorite mini to paint if you have one?
I mean, I think for both of us right now, isn't it that flail snail? Because that's one we've been wanting to do for a while.
That immediately came to mind.
Same.
That flail
I
snail.
really liked the flail snail. It was
Yeah.
funsies.
And to be honest, if I had to pick another one, since that one was so soon and so like,
Right.
okay, recency bias kind of thing. Um, yeah, the Myconids, the first thing that we ever did, the Myconids, and it really is less about doing it first
Right.
and more the blending that we did
That was
um
fun.
to get those rainbow colors
Yeah.
was just really fun to do. I just got paint on the shoulder and I was very happy with how it came out. And so yeah, I think the Myconids are probably the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely a fan of the more colorful minis. So like
Same.
the other one that I thought of was actually that Hell Wasp that we're going to be giving away
Yeah, that was a
shortly.
fun one too.
Uh yeah, the Hell Wasp, the wings on that Hell Wasp were super fun. I need a different small brush. There we go. So yeah, I think all of mine probably fall into the multicolored category.
Fair.
But yeah, that flail snail, when we put that on the schedule, the both of us week after week were just like,
Flail
flail
snail.
snail's
Flail
coming,
snail.
flail snail.
Flail snail. Color, color, color. Fun, fun, fun.
I've also realized that this mini does not have a left ear at all because of the spell effect.
Yeah.
Between the spell effect and the hair, you just can't see an ear.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
It's alright.
I know it's there. They're just too busy being awesome to be able to show both ears. That's all.
Exactly. The hips don't lie, but at my age they complain, says Fuel.
Oh yes. My hips are actually doing real well, but I have become that person who on a semi-regular basis makes noise when they either sit down or stand up.
Right? I know exactly the sound you mean.
Mm-hmm. That has become me.
Oh, that's right. Miria actually doesn't have one ear.
That's
Yep.
true. Now, technically, that's her original form, but I
Mm-hmm.
love that you remembered that.
It
And
was
yeah,
Governor Explosion. He noticed that Miria Emily has didn't see two. That she's supposed to not have two elf ears. She's missing one.
yeah, I believe it's on the same side as the skeletal arm because of backstory and things, but
Yeah.
you are 100% right. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with it.
There you go.
Perfect. I got a little flesh tone on the hair, but
That's okay
I don't
because
think that's gonna.
we haven't done the hair yet, so
Yeah.
we'll get it there.
I'm just trying to get around the side of this cheek next to the spell effect. It's like,
Oh, and it looks like we're about time for the next giveaway.
oh yeah. So
Yes.
we should have the next in-game alert going out.
I mean,
We are at the last
reminder.
30 minutes.
Oh my
Holy
God.
moly.
This
So yeah, if
episode.
you are,
Whew.
I know, right? If you are joining us, welcome to the 100th episode of Paint and Slay at a little bit of an earlier time. We're going to be starting a giveaway shortly. The amazing Mars is in chat who will be running that giveaway. You do need to be in the Twitch chat to
Mm-hmm.
be able to not sign up, to
Enter.
enter.
Yeah.
Words. I talk for a living. You need to be in the Twitch chat to be able to enter for a chance to win. And this time it will be that Hell Wasp pink
Pink
kit,
it. Yeah.
which will be coming up shortly.
Oh,
There
there we
it
go.
is.
Bye
There
bye.
it is. It's a full paint kit. It is open to US and Canada, Quebec excluded. So if you are in the US or in Canada but not in Quebec, you can enter for a chance to win the Hell Wasp. And I believe it is just going on right now. It'll run for a couple of minutes. So you have a chance to come on by if you're lurking and working and like scrambling to get over to the Twitch chat. You've got like a minute or two. If you're over on our Steam page, because I know we broadcast to Steam as well,
Right.
come on over to the Twitch chat,
Twitch, yep.
twitch.tv/CNE games. Go ahead and put in the word that is now the only thing you can see in chat.
Heckin' bees.
And heckin' bees.
Sorry,
Not
that was well played in one.
that was perfect timing. That was perfect timing.
Don't do heal wasp.
No, but so it is exclamation mark hell
One
wasp,
word.
which I will say out loud so that the folks in chat who are having a little bit of fun don't confuse
Yes.
anybody. You should have your whispers on if possible. You should get a little message from Moobot saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Yep, you're enter." And then if you are the winner, then the CNE Games Twitch account will reach out to you to get your information in a safe and secure way. It won't be over Twitch whispers. We will get that in
Yes.
a much more safe way. And the lovely V will be sending those out at some point next week because
Yes.
today and this weekend are a holiday. And so not, and Monday. I think
Mm-hmm.
Monday also, at least government
Yeah,
institutions are
chances are this
closed.
time next week it'll be getting to the post office.
Yeah. So we'll take a little bit of time, but
Yeah,
then you will have the hell ones.
exactly. I will get back to you as soon as I get an email confirmation type of situation. Um, and then, um, wow, my brain just said, haha, nope.
That's
Um,
okay.
and then give you details in terms of tracking, etc. once it's ready to ship.
Yeah. The the back part,
The back part?
the open back, is it just like down the spine? Am I looking
It's
at
this
this correctly?
whole. Well, it helps to put this away. Go away. This is the back.
Oh, okay. You know what's interesting, but now
Ooh.
I totally see it. But on my mini, that area has a texture to it
Oh, interesting.
that makes it that totally when I was doing the paint the dry brushing
Mm-hmm.
made it look like armor plating, that like the porous armor
Gotcha.
plating.
Yeah.
And so I totally thought that that
Then.
was part of the armor and that the basically that bottom strip just above the tail but just below the waist in the
Mm,
middle of her back was it. But now I see what you're talking about. Okay.
I mean, honestly, sometimes that happens with these mold minis where one mini might have more of a texture because of just how it, you know, cured.
Yeah.
So do what makes the most sense for the texture of your mini. If you want to leave that as, not an open back and just close that up, you absolutely can.
I think I might just because of
Yeah, do it. If you need to,
the way
absolutely.
this looks.
Yeah.
And also it's then she is fully armored.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me. Hemi, it is nowhere near dinner time, my darling boy. You can give me all the soft squeaks you want to. I am not feeding you yet, sir.
25 more minutes.
He goes,
25 more minutes. You can survive for 25 more
you
minutes,
can see
kitty.
his tail every so often.
I looked up just in
Uh
time to
huh.
be.
The joys of a Maine Coon. There are times like we're sitting down to eat dinner and you just see Cotton and Hemingway's tails like going around the table.
Mm-hmm.
uh, he's so big.
Okay.
It's also the fun of getting the knees and the legs. Yes, sir, I hear you, but it's still not food time.
No food. Not yet food.
I know you're thinking, Mom, it's Friday. Normally you wrap up and say goodbye, everyone, and I get food in my tummy. So that you don't get tripped when you're trying to clean up after the paint stream.
Sorry, I'm also watching real close
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, because if you look, Miria, the skin actually has like it's like a mini skirt almost. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of painting the legs to reflect that. The fun part is getting under the skirt and to the back portion of the legs, which
Is always a challenge.
yeah. That may not be happening, to be honest. Can I even get to that angle?
Sorry, just trying to also keep an eye on chat while Mars is taking care of
Giveaway.
the giveaway. Yep, because
Yeah.
giveaway is giveaway takes attention. Giveaway
does.
requires a lot of attention.
Yeah. Big fig wasp. No. Ocean.
All right, let's see if I can get this other leg.
It's a little tricky, I'm not gonna lie. This mini has angles, that's for sure.
Well, and the cool things about it are also the things that make it hard, like
Yeah.
trying to get under this piece of armor that is sitting not directly on top of the leg,
Right.
but close enough to want to get under it is my current challenge.
What are we doing? Hemi! No! You're no, don't step in the paint. Don't step in the paint.
Oh no.
No. He just jumped up and his face is like mistakes were made. Buddy, here, come here. Come
I
this
thought
way.
it was being cute,
Come
and no, now I am blue.
He's like, I know this is not where I should be. Oh, buddy, how am I gonna get you up? All right, come here. This is gonna be very undignified for you. Oh,
Listen,
buddy.
that's the cat's fault.
Right? All right.
Yeah, full V is sounding much quieter because V is having to deal with flu.
Cat.
Yeah, so V is moving for reasons. Needs to move away from the microphone.
Yeah, is that better? Do you want me to give you loud lecturing mom voice?
I mean, you sound good to me, but we'll find out in about 6 seconds from chat.
Yeah. Here's the floof.
Lurking Writer wants to know what's more destructive, the Tarrasque or an inquisitive fluff ball like Hemi?
This one?
But do you get cuddles from the Tarrasque like that?
I've never met a Tarrasque to answer that one. How's
That's
that?
fair. That's super fair. This is the happiest cat right now.
Yeah. He's just like, give me love and hugs, mama.
Oh, and congrats. Apparently a winner has been confirmed for the other giveaway. So
Fantastic.
Once again, I've missed who it is, but I'm sure Mars has gotten all of your information. And yeah.
Okay. Now that I'm back to my usual daily program, whatever it is. What's that phrase? Your regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
There we go.
And now we return you to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, cool.
Not want.
So how are we doing on time? Yeah, so let's are you good with the I was gonna say, are you good with the flesh, but that sounds concerning. Are you good with getting the rest of the skin areas?
I think so. I'm cleaning up one bit where I got skin where I didn't mean to get skin, but otherwise I think I'm good.
Okay. So then we're going to want to grab Banshee White and glaze the hair. So we want this thinned out for sure.
Okay. Lots of glazes on this one.
Yeah.
Banshee White. Banshee White.
Like basically we want the hair to look more white as opposed to gray right now.
Okay. Water.
Actually, let me just check something really quick.
That might actually be too much water. All right.
No, that's right. That's right. We didn't get a microphone swap on me when the cats were jumping on keyboards and such.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
that has happened. That has definitely happened. Okay.
All right, so we want it like this, Lauren.
Yeah, I think I added too much water to begin with, and Had to put some more paint back, but I think I'm there.
Yeah, the cat in One for All from Deerstalker Pictures, that is Ava's cat. It was absolutely darling. We're going to do a little of this goes a very long way. So keep moving
Oh,
on
yeah.
the hair. Don't let it collect too much.
Yeah, I don't want to lose all that detail that we got using the...
Exactly. Like this might be a one dip and done situation.
Yep, your hair. That's hair. That's hair. That's hair.
Figured we'll do the horns at the end. Is probably gonna be the easiest way to handle those.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid the horns and definitely got those.
Yeah.
Definitely the horns are a bit white right now, but I figured that was
That's
going to
okay.
be not a huge deal.
It really isn't. Yeah, we'll work around it. Okay, well, it was almost a one dip. I'm gonna need to go back in because there's more.
Yep, they're not eyes, but it's certainly taking a lot of concentration to get the...
Yeah.
It's less about the hair and more like, okay, we did all this nice detail with the face and the ears
Right.
and everything, and I want to make sure I don't obliterate that.
Exactly. So now the hair is reading more as white as opposed to gray. But because we glazed this, you can see that the slap chop stuff is still showing through like we want it to.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, and the horns will just have to be a little white for a little bit.
That's okay.
It'll be fine. We'll get back to you.
It absolutely will.
It totally will.
All right, cool. I'm liking it. This is starting to look like Miria in her tiefling form. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so we don't have that much time left.
No,
so
we got about 6 minutes.
Yeah. Kind of hesitant to start something new because we're going to start getting into doing more detail work.
Well, we do have a little more wiggle room because we don't have a... Yeah, we don't have a stream after us, so we can kind of get close to noon if you've got something that is like a 10, 15 minute. And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, if anything, let's like see if we can get some more questions going from the chat and such for mini painting stuff for the 100th episode.
Yeah, here we are in our 100th episode.
Right?
Let's put 100 questions in chat.
Oh, what we
chat,
could do
go.
is we can work on the base. All right, so let's get dark flesh tone and we'll get the base going. Let's do that.
Okay.
We can do that. That I feel safe saying let's start on that because if we end up having to step away or whatever, it's just that color.
It's just
yeah,
putting flesh on the base, you know, like you do.
Oh god.
Is this also going to be a glaze?
Mine's kind of thin as it is, but if you want to glaze it out, you absolutely can.
Let's see.
It's not necessary because we're gonna go back in and dry brush anyways, so it's not really as necessary on the base.
Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in because this paint is thick. Surprisingly thick. Okay. Namanto asks an excellent question, which is, do you have your next mini picked out already, or are there any you're looking forward to? So the answer to the first part of the question is yes, and we did put the details into the Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions.
Mm-hmm. And that is because of
and I actually have them right here.
Should we do a little early leak for what people can expect coming? And literally
that okay. Here's where my brain failed in that moment. Let's do an early leak. As I'm holding the two minis, for the that we talked about
There you
last
go.
week.
Yeah.
And literally my brain went, did we actually talk about it last week?
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
did I
Yeah.
put something on the Discord
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to? Did I spoil something I wasn't? Oh, I know what
No.
she's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez, my brain today. Okay. Let's hold off for a few more minutes
Okay.
just because I hate to make an announcement and then have
Yeah.
nowhere to go. But yes, next week, or at least after we're done with Tiefling Miria, we will be going on to animated breaths. The
Woohoo.
fire and
Acid.
acid. Thank you. Um, and yes, all that information is in the Discord in the Paint and Slay channel so that you can join us. But we will, as is obvious at this moment, we will still be working on Miria next week.
Yeah, because we have like some cool details to bring out, like adding like gold accents and what have you. Working on the weapon,
Yeah,
working on the spell effect. So there's still some good things going on here.
exactly.
Take
But
care,
yep,
Star
that's what's.
Chaser.
Oh
Looks
yeah,
like they're
have a
heading
good
out.
one.
Yeah.
As for are there any that you're looking forward to? I'm gonna be honest, at this very moment, I can't think of what's after the animated breath.
No, I can't either. Is the problem? My brain's just like
Yeah.
because I haven't taken
I,
the notes yet.
you know what?
I haven't
That's
done the
fair.
notes.
I am looking forward to the animated breath because while we've done bits of spell effects before, and while we
Mm-hmm.
have done some things that are clear, this is the first time that we're going to be doing essentially an entirely I'm going to say clear, even though it won't be clear by the time we're done, mini.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm very excited to learn how to do that and to get really cool animated spell effects. So
Mm-hmm.
I am. Is it animated or is it alive? No, they're
Animated.
animated.
It's
Okay.
animated.
And then Neuron Thief. Question: has there ever been a mini you looked at then went nah because it was too big or too detailed or whatever? Ooh.
Yeah. Um, there's a mini that looked good in theory. Like the render images of it were really cool, and then I saw it firsthand, and it was just so full of mold lines and like muddy details. It just wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who or which mini because I don't want to malign anyone. Because sometimes like prints or molds just go wrong for whatever reason. So it could
It
just be the
happens.
actual one that I saw. Just didn't have a good curing situation or what have you. So yeah, there's definitely been minis I've been like, how about not, and just walked away from for various reasons along those lines. Right, Miss Thing?
Uh, we've also and it's not that we haven't done them because we certainly have done a couple dragons at this point.
Mm.
We've been a little more cautious about creatures that are all one color and are big.
Yeah,
Like I know we've talked about that's the silver dragon we have sitting around that we kind of want to do, but something like that that's that size
it's yeah,
will definitely involve homework of like, hey,
yeah.
go and spend your weekend and finish because it's such a big mini that is all there's going to have large swaths of the same color. It's not necessarily going to be that interesting to watch us paint. So while we've done a couple, we did the black dragon and the green dragon, but those were young-ish. And even
Mm-hmm.
then, we did some bits of homework. So
Yeah,
larger ones like that that don't involve, that are going to involve a lot more. I'm spending the next 2 hours painting the same color. Those we've kind of, I'm not gonna say avoided, but we've still kind of gone back and forth with, all right, we need to we
yeah,
need to do this in a different way.
yeah.
There, I eventually
Exactly.
got that answer out. That took a
Yeah.
lot longer. My words.
Wording is fun.
Wording is hard today.
Wording is a lot of
Let
fun.
me see.
Okay, so, and then for those of you who won, hopefully you've gotten in contact with Mars. Make sure you follow up on the instructions that Mars gives you because next step is going to be chatting with me so I can make sure, literally, I have the 2 packages sitting over here all boxed up and ready to go. So I'll get those out to you. Like I said, it's probably going to be about this time next week.
Yeah. And for safety's sake, since there were a lot of people in chat, not just for us, but I'm going to say in general, when you are on Twitch, when you are anywhere where you are entering a raffle, don't let, if someone just contacts you and says, hey, you won a thing, give me your information, double check you're getting the right
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
that this is someone that is not trying to fool you and get your information. So in this case, you should be getting whispers or contact from the C&E Games Twitch channel, which you can take a look at to verify that it is the exact one and not someone decided to put an underscore somewhere. Any emails that will be going back and forth will be from codenameentertainment.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
Things like that. So only the two people that Mars reached out to should be getting that information. And I'll also say, do not be afraid to ask for verifying information before you give any of your personal information out. We will never be upset if you are making sure that we are who we say we are. That has been your PSA for today.
Ta-da. Looks like we have one quick question coming in from the Lurking Writer. Minis come in different materials such as metal, plastic, resin, etc. Do you have a preference for a particular kind as to which are easier or more enjoyable to paint on? Honestly, it depends on the quality of how that mini was created. I've painted on all of them, and I can tell you that when something has not been made with quality in mind, you pay for it in the end, whether it is metal, whether it is plastic, whether it is resin or 3D print or anything like that. So it's honestly, it's more, I prefer the minis where people take the time and care to put the effort into how they're sculpted and created than what the content of the matter in which they are made.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That being said, the vast majority of ours are the wonderful plastic ones from WizKids. I said that out loud, and then I realized for some reason my brain went, "Are you sure?"
Are you sure
My brain is just in a bad place today.
Yeah.
Plastic. I have one metal mini. Oh, it's over on this side. I do have one metal mini. It's actually the first mini I ever painted. Because it is technically a Warhammer mini, because it was the only mini that looked like the character that I was creating, and that was from back in the 4th edition days of D&D, my human cleric. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice. I don't remember how it felt to paint it, but it's kind of nice. Like, I like metal dice for the same reason. It's nice to have that weight.
Yeah, there's a nice heft to them. They can chip more easily. That's the only thing. That's the only caveat I will say about metal. You got to be careful with metal because if they like bang against something, So, anyways, don't forget it is the weekend. It's actually the weekend. So about now, those newsletters should start going out for the Wise Friends weekend, where you get a free gold Wise chest and an adorable owl face on the chest. God, that is too cute. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, then make sure you do. Log into the game, and you can find out where to log in for that newsletter. And your first newsletter, we give you a free hitch. So definitely take advantage. What?
Just, I don't know. The way you said that tickled me. We give you a free hitch.
Free hitch.
It's 100% accurate.
Yep. So definitely check that out, and we contact you once a week with what the weekend is going to be, along with a free chest. And if we contact you out of that usual once a week newsletter, we'll still give you something free along with important information for what's happening in the game that might be relevant for your knowledge. So just keep that all in mind. And then what else do we have going on? Cat. We have a cat.
We have a cat.
We have a cat. Next week, we're going to keep going with the Miria glitch paint that we have been doing this week. However, we're back to our usual time, so keep that in mind. We'll be back to just starting the show about now as opposed to wrapping it up. So, set your calendars accordingly. And it looks like Toy for Run 85 has just revealed what I was waiting to find out, because I've been doing some vamping.
Yeah, I've been looking as well because so go ahead and announce it. I'm just going to make sure that everything is about to be live, because the video has to go live before the text does, because reasons.
So anyways, another thing that's going to be coming right quick soon is our full champion reveal. We have Gale joining Penelope as our 2 featured champions for Greengrass. So Penelope is getting a really cool rework. Definitely check that out. There's going to be some cool theme packs happening for both of these individual characters. So that'll be fun. And we have Gale joining the absolute adversaries in Idol Champions, happening on Wednesday next week at 12 p.m. Pacific. Definitely check out both of these spotlight blogs on these two champions. Again, Penelope's getting a rework, so there's some new information you want to make sure you're checking in about, because everybody loves Penelope. Won't she be your
Penelope
friend? Absolutely, she will. I'm not saying what it is, but I'm gonna whet your appetite. The freaking adorable familiar that is going into Penelope's theme pack next week.
Oh yeah.
So my God. Okay.
It's so good. It's so good.
When Hope said what she wanted, I'm like, we're making it happen. She's like, I don't know if we can do this. I'm like, I don't care. I want it to happen. So yes.
Like, our artists are pretty cool and our devs are pretty cool. We can make almost anything happen. And you know, when Penelope asks,
that's
you
just
do the
it.
thing.
It's Hope. How can you say no to that? And plus the concept, I'm like, yes, this is happening. So yeah, that's something to look forward to next week. And thank you everyone for hanging out with us today for our 100th episode. Very much appreciated and enjoyed spending time with you all. Don't forget, we don't have a stream after this because it's Easter Friday. So the Canadian staff, they are enjoying a day off, rightfully so. So we'll pick back up with our usual streaming as of next week on Tuesday. So keep that one in mind too. And thank you so much to Mars for helping us out as our moderator today. Very much appreciated, especially because we've thrown a couple more things into the mix today with the 2 giveaways. And congratulations to our 2 winners. Again, as soon as you act on the information Mars gives you, the sooner you and I can, interact and make sure you get your fantastic package that is now waiting for you. And I think that's everything for the week, right?
Yeah, have a lovely weekend, everybody, and a safe holiday if you are participating, and just a fun time if you're enjoy some chocolate.
Yeah, and don't forget to tune in tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific on Salal's Twitch channel to catch the intro to D&D panel, and then tomorrow on Hero Forge's Twitch, tune in at 12 p.m. Pacific and catch myself and Lauren and Brian Gray, Urban Bohemia, if he's still in the chat, as well as Carolyn Page as the players, with Holly Conrad as the DM for a very special one-shot to wrap up the Salal's Streaming for Survivors effort this past week. That's it. That's officially it. Okay. All right, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Thank you, and bye-bye.